Hello guys and welcome back to Unlimited Racing 2D2. Sorry about the earlier issue. Round 2 at Malaysia. Not quite sure what happened there. Recording finished, everything was fine. I went to upload and there was no video footage. It was just audio. So obviously apologies on my behalf. I've done a few tests, so that should be working fine. But yeah, no, a little summary of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton managed to get pole for Ferrari. To be honest, he dominated that race. He did, but he made a mistake, with 2 laps to go. Lap 13 out of 15. Lewis decided to box for fresh softs. Gap at the time was 6 seconds to George, with obviously 2 racing laps to go. And yeah, Hamilton just didn't have enough laps really. George ended up winning by, I think it was 1.6 seconds, something like that. So definitely one more lap would have sealed George's fate. But hey ho, very good drive from the Alpine driver. Alpine's first win. And this is how the standings stack up. Max Verstappen, he finished the podium. So 2 podiums in 2 races. Hadjar, not a very good performance from him. Antonelli P4. Colapinto, if I remember well, was P8. With Soilov where was Soilov? I don't remember where he was. Leclerc and McLaren, they brought up a new upgrade, and yeah, it worked to an extent. I mean, Leclerc was definitely quicker. Not where, they'd want to be, but he was definitely faster. With Mini and Vesti rounding off the top 10 in championship. Jack Doohan, Kamara and Beganovic up to P13 with Crawford in P14. Latifi in the newly upgraded Haas is ahead of Doohan in the newly upgraded McLaren. Lawson still there in P17. Obviously, VCARB haven't made any upgrades, with Aaron P18, Norris P19 and Mazepin P20. Constructors wise, this is how it stands. Ferrari, 11-point lead. Yeah, it's good. But Red Bull aren't too far away. All it takes is one race for things to turn on its head. Red Bull are still there within striking distance, and don't rule out Mercedes or Alpine as of yet. Williams, personally, I kind of expected them to be around where they were. Right now, I think Australia was a bit of a surprise, seeing Colapinto on the podium. Malaysia was definitely a reality check, but we'll see what they can do this weekend at Shanghai. McLaren P6, I can expect them to make inroads in the championship. Maybe not the title, but definitely go up a couple of positions, especially with their new upgrades. Audi, Aston, VCARB follow with Haas in P10. Let's get into things now. So, who's going to snatch pole position today? Hamilton and Hadjar, P1, P2. Leclerc, P3. Those upgrades seem to be doing not too badly. Ooh, it's actually Russell now. Russell's managed to make some inroads now. Could George Russell be going for pole position? Where's Max Verstappen? There, P4. Leclerc still there in the mix. In the mix of things. Max Verstappen using his ERS now. Hamilton, though, he's going to be going for back-to-back pole positions. He's got a bit of battery to use. Verstappen, can Verstappen snatch pole position? George Russell's coming fast. Hadjar, but it's Lewis Hamilton on pole position once again. Max Verstappen is right next to Lewis Hamilton with George Russell rounding off the top 3. Isaac Hadjar, P4, very good result for Ferrari with Charles Leclerc P5, Antonelli P6, Vesti P7, Doohan P8. Not too bad, to be fair, for the Aston Martin boys, with Kamara P9 for Audi, and then the other Aston of Paul Aaron P10. Soilov P11, followed by Colapinto. Disaster for Williams. Really, the season beginning to fade now. Mini is P13 with Crawford P14. Both Hasses 15th and 16th, with Norris 17th, Beganovic 18th, Doohan 19th, and Lawson 20th. Let's see what can happen in the race. My prediction for today's win is Lewis Hamilton. Lights out and away we go here at Shanghai. Hamilton gets a good start. Verstappen goes down the inside though. He goes down the inside and he's got P1. Hamilton's still going to be there. But Verstappen takes the lead. George is trying to get some too. Hadjar down the inside of George. Manages to make the move stick. Hadjar had a poor weekend last time out in Malaysia. He's definitely going to try and right his wrongs. Leclerc still there in the mix. Leclerc down the inside. Hamilton down the inside of Max Verstappen. Using the battery, using the ERS, and retakes the lead. Kamara though, what a start. P5 he is. Hadjar though, down the inside of Leclerc. That's for P3. Well, some drivers, quite a few drivers to be fair, pitted. Look at all those drivers with damage. All the way up to what? P13. George is one of those. George is one of those drivers who's had to pit for damage. That's going to severely hamper his Grand Prix. Verstappen P2. This is a very good start for Lewis Hamilton. Very, very good start for Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen closing the gap slowly. Obviously, the front runners will be in soon, but not as soon as the others. Hadjar in, Camera in, Leclerc in. This must be for damage too. Cars are really struggling. Latifi follows. Cars are struggling. Further back, Lawson and Alex Doon, they could get some points here. And today's a day where the drivers, Verstappen's taking the lead. We've missed that. But today's a day where the drivers who don't usually, who you don't usually see in the top 10, today could be their day to score some points, as we see Hamilton draining his battery. Easy move down the back straight. The guys, the likes of the Hasses, the likes of the Alpha Tauris, we could see them score some big points today. Antonelli from very far back tries going around the outside of Verstappen. Turn 2, turn 3. Verstappen leaves him no room. Antonelli still going to fight though. But no. Has to live to fight another day. With that said, Verstappen goes deep. That's just the tyres. Antonelli on hards, Verstappen on mediums. I can see both Hamilton and Verstappen boxing this lap. Because Antonelli is flying. Antonelli's flying. Everyone's boxed apart from the top 4. Antonelli round the outside of Hamilton. Hamilton's going to try and get him back into the hairpin. Very aggressive from Hamilton. Hamilton stays out, but Antonelli's actually the man who goes in. Antonelli goes in, so maybe he's trying an undercut. Verstappen likewise. Soilov too. So the only driver not to have boxed is Hamilton. I mean, as long as he doesn't do what he did last time out at Sepang, we completely fluffed his lines with the strategy that day. Who knows? Right now, it's looking good for Lewis. His teammate Hadjar, P2, he will inherit the race lead once his teammates box. But Antonelli's flying. Look at him. Not even using the battery on camera. Hamilton's in. Where will he come out? Hadjar's past him. Antonelli's past him. Verstappen's past him. Camera's past him. Russell too. Soilov. Mini. Down the inside. What a move from Mini. Very late on the brakes there. Hamilton gets him 2 corners later though. Hamilton's on mediums. Soilov and Russell. Russell goes wide. He goes wide. And it's unfortunate. That was more like a chain reaction, a domino effect. Hamilton hit Soilov into Russell. And Russell came off worse. I think that Audi has no straight line speed as well. You can see Hamilton breezed past him. And that's not the first time anyone's just managed to breeze past that Audi. Look at Soilov down the straight. That Audi is really struggling for straight line speed. Verstappen though with the lead. Can he bring Red Bull their first race victory in Unlimited Racing 2D? Or can Antonelli do the same thing for Mercedes? Further back, Hamilton's breezed past Hadjar. Wouldn't be surprised if that was a multi-21 call. Hadjar's tyres are finished. Verstappen, will he be in this lap? He can go another lap. He will go another lap. Antonelli, same thing. Hamilton is just hawking them down. Out of the top 3, unsurprisingly, Hamilton was the fastest driver. Further back, Hadjar's in. Leclerc gets past him. Russell, he's boxed twice already. But let's go back to the front. Let's go back to the front. Antonelli's got past Hamilton. Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. Antonelli's in. Verstappen likewise. Fresh hards for Antonelli. I don't think he can go to the end at the end of the race on those tyres. It will be a risk. It will definitely be a risk. But Hamilton now just has to put in laps now. It's going to be difficult to go to the end of the race on one set of hards. I still think there are 2 more stops in this, to be honest. That's my personal opinion. Further up, Verstappen ahead of Antonelli. Verstappen obviously on the soft tyre, so Verstappen, he's sticking to a free stop. Max Verstappen sticking to a free stop, and it may pay off. Rain is over the horizon. Has Hamilton made a mistake here? Good thing for Hamilton is that he's not too far away from the leaders. Drivers already boxing for wets, though. I think it's too early. Russell, Soilov, I think it's too early. Leclerc, Camara, Colapinto, everyone's boxing for the wets. I think it's too early. Hamilton just needs to destroy these soft tyres now. But that might have just, Verstappen might have played a blinder with the strategy. Soft tyres. Verstappen, he can box now and he'll come out ahead. But is it softs or is it back to dries? Because you can see clouds on the horizon. It's no longer wet. It's no longer wet, boys. It's no longer wet. Obviously, there's still water on track. So maybe the Inters is the best tyre. We'll have to see what Antonelli can do. But it's going to start drying very quickly. Very, very quickly. The Chinese weather moving bipolar. Whilst all this is happening, Max Verstappen still has the lead. Antonelli, Hamilton following in behind. But no, as I say that, maybe the teams knew better. Because it's meant to rain again. The rain cannot make up its mind. The weather cannot make up its mind. Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, who's going to come in the box first? I mean, they don't need to box. What am I talking about? They don't need to box, actually. They don't need to box. No need to pit. And now, it's really starting to hammer down. Antonelli on the intermediate tyres, I'm not quite sure that was the right choice. I mean, Inters will do well for this lap, but going forward, I'm not quite sure. The bigger question is, will the wets be able to make it to the end of the race? I'm not quite sure. Lewis Hamilton down the inside of Max Verstappen, not even using ERS. That's all straight line speed and the drive from the previous corner. All three of the top boys staying out. Even Antonelli on his intermediates. He kind of has to. Verstappen's going to try to go around the outside of Hamilton. No, he can't. Hadjar's still there as well. Don't count him out. And George Russell's recovery drive. P5, not too shabby so far. Hamilton passed by Verstappen, passed by Antonelli too. So, if you're the drivers, do you stay out? I think you stay out. It's either you box now or you stay out. What you don't want to get is damage. And Hamilton's damage may force him to box. We'll have to see what the Ferrari pit crew do. Hamilton could stay out if he really wants to. Will he box? He stays out. All three of them stay out. All three of them stay out. They're going to start catching up to the back markers though. Lando's boxed 5 times. I tell you what, the V-Carb, they're in a mess right now. V-Carb are in a mess. Hamilton has the lead though. Who's going to win? Verstappen, Antonelli or Hamilton? 3 different generations of drivers. The past, the present and the future. Who's going to come out on top? Hamilton has 1 lap and 2 corners to maneuver. First he needs to lap Bogdanovic, which he does very quickly. Verstappen's turn to lap the Williams. Dispatched easily. Antonelli's beginning to lose the front 2 drivers. But final lap, we start white flag. And it's Verstappen v Hamilton. It's not the first time we've said that and it won't be the last. Hamilton has a little bit more ERS to play with, but Verstappen's quick through the corners. Remember what I said about Hamilton winning this race? I could be proved right for once. But there's still 1 long straight to go. Hamilton's very aggressive with Verstappen. And Antonelli's joining the party. Don't count him out. Antonelli using the boost. Will he get Hamilton? Oh, down the inside. Antonelli. He gets him. Antonelli's got a race win. The intermediates worked. And Verstappen not even on the podium. Hamilton and Verstappen have managed to fumble 1-2. Antonelli wins for Mercedes. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, you are a race winner. Oh, what a Grand Prix. Antonelli left that one too late. What a Grand Prix. Wow. Kimi Antonelli. What a drive, son. Beating Hamilton. Hamilton's fumbled. Hamilton, even Verstappen. Verstappen fumbled too. Went from fighting for first to finishing P4. And I tell you what, it all unraveled for both of them. On the long right-hander before the long straight, Hamilton pushed Verstappen wide. He pushed Verstappen wide, making Verstappen lose. Well, definitely to Antonelli. We didn't see what happened with Hadjar. Hadjar came from nowhere to steal that podium. Then Antonelli down the straight. He had a much better run because obviously Hamilton was fighting Verstappen. Down the inside, he sent it on Hamilton on the intermediates compared to the wets. And it worked. Antonelli is a race winner. Genius Nature is a race winner with Mercedes. L Games will not be too pleased with that, but I'm sure he'll still be happy with a P2, P3. Max Verstappen P4 off the podium for the first time this season, but he's not leaving with nothing as he takes fastest lap 2. George Russell P5 with Soilov P6. Maybe that Mercedes isn't too bad of a car. If you remember in pre-season, I was writing it off. I was writing off the Mercedes. But they're really coming into their own. Leclerc, it was looking good. With the new upgrades, it was looking good, but no. Just couldn't be with Camera P8 and both Aston's P9 and P10. Mini P11 with Colapinto P12. Definitely a horrible weekend for the Williams. Their worst weekend by far. Vesti P13 struggled with that straight line speed with Latifi, Dune, Lawson, Crawford, Mazepin following with Bogdanovic. A horrible weekend from him, and Lando Norris finishing last once again. These results are not showing his actual skill, you know. Lando Norris 0 points once again. And in terms of the championship fight, George Russell's lead cut to 1 point. 1 point between Russell and Verstappen, 1 point between Hamilton and Russell, 2 points between Hamilton and Antonelli, and a further 3 between Antonelli and Hadjar. I don't know about you, but this season's given 2012 vibes. This season's given 2010 vibes. Jeez. So what? What's that? 7 points separates the top 6 drivers. Then further back you have Soilov, who's doing a really good job. Leclerc, Colapinto, Mini and Duhan finished the top 10. Duhan getting into the top 10 with Vesti, Camera and Aaron Aaron and Duhan, making a Audi sandwich. Latifi P14, Dune P15, Crawford 16th, Lawson 17th, Bogdanovic 18th, Norris 19th, and Mazepin last in the standings. Teams wise, Red Bull. This weekend was not a good weekend for Red Bull. They've lost ground in the constructors. Serious ground. I think that's Mini's disappointing result. But this constructors fight is close, man. It's close. Alpine are still there too. Alpine are very much still there. You can see McLaren, Williams, Audi all there. Not too far away. I mean, McLaren, Williams, Audi, they have their own little fight. I think you can even include Aston Martin there. And then at the back, battle of the back markers with Haas and VCAR. But yeah, what a race. That was sensational, I'll tell you that for a fact. Thank you for joining me. Hopefully I'll try and get this video released. Hopefully there's no problem. Once again, apologies for Malaysia. But yeah, as you can see, we go to the Americas next. Canada, then Coda. Thank you for being with me, and